done some notes so I won't forget anything important, but I probably will anyways. But yeah, okay. Hi guys. If you're here for only beauty-related topics, then you are welcome to just click out of this video, and I will see you in another video in the near future. This is a different video from all of the other ones that I've done, and so I'm going to give you like a disclaimer that this channel is still a beauty related channel, but I might be doing videos like this once in a while, and some of them might be in Norwegian. I have one New Year's resolution this year, and it is to be more open with my chronic illness. And I find it really difficult sometimes. Other times it doesn't have to be difficult, but a lot of times it is difficult to talk to people face to face, and sitting here in front of a camera is just so much more safe, and hopefully I can tell you my story of how I found out that I had MS. I think it's important to raise awareness about chronic illness and invisible illnesses. And when I first got diagnosed, I really wanted all the information I could get, and which I did, but I couldn't really find a lot of personal stories. There was a few on YouTube that I found, and if I can remember, I will link them down below. But yeah, I just found it hard to. I had a hard time finding people talking about MS that I could relate to, like people with their own stories. So yeah, I'm going to try to make this short. Starting at the beginning, I was never really sick until I was 16. I got mononucleosis, and I was really sick again at 17, and after that I never really fully recovered. I was always sick. I got the flu a lot. I just got everything that surrounded me, I got sick of. And I was always really, really tired. I was suffering from dizziness a lot, and yeah. What I consider my first attack was back in college, where I guess the easiest way to explain it was that a sort of a collapse just in the middle of the street. I lost my balance. I don't know exactly what happened, but I came out of it being really dizzy, tired. Again, I lost my balance. My balance was really bad. I couldn't think straight or find the right words. I was just so exhausted. I tried everything. I went to the doctors. And they checked me if I had like a virus on the balance center, or in the balance center. I'm not sure if that's correctly well said in English, but yeah. Another doctor told me I had anxiety. Another doctor said it was stress related, which it probably was in a lot of ways, because I was really exhausted from school and social life and just everything going on in my life. There was a lot of lack of sleep, and yeah. But it didn't explain all of my symptoms. I had a lot of back pain, neck pain, my shoulders, all of the stuff in the back of my head. I was always in pain. I would have like excruciating pain in my back, and I went to the doctors several times for my back pains. And because I have like a slight scoliosis, it's definitely there, and it's not good, but it's not the worst kind of scoliosis. But the doctor would always tell me that my back pain was slowly because of my scoliosis, which I now know that it is not only because of my scoliosis. But anyways, every time I went to the doctors, I went to 3 different doctors and 1 neurologist. They would all just say that I was perfectly fine. There was nothing really wrong with me. And I would tell them about my pain and all my challenges, and nothing really happened. Again, like they told me I was healthy. When I went to the neurologist, I just filled out a form how exhausted I was, how much sleep I would get during like 1 week, how much pain I was in, all that kind of stuff. I just filled out that form and then concluded with me just being perfectly fine. And so I just felt stupid. I felt really stupid and weak for not being able to get myself together and I guess be as strong as everyone else. Because since I was perfectly healthy, why couldn't I function like everyone else? Why couldn't I feel the energy that obviously all of the other people around me were feeling? So I was really angry at myself and frustrated, and I felt like a wimp, just really weak. And so I decided to get myself together and just ignore the pain, really, because I started telling myself that the pain wasn't there. It was all in my head. And I stopped going to the doctors more than I had to, and I stopped thinking that it was something bad happening to me, or thinking that it was something wrong with me. Then after a few years, I got my first son, and I'm not sure, maybe 6 months to a year after I got my son, probably a year after, because I had started working again, I woke up one morning being numb. My face went just numb on the half side of my face, and I was really tired. And my body just wouldn't function right. And so I had to go to the doctors. They sort of just convinced me to do so at work. And again, I felt really stupid because he gave me a diagnosis. I can't really remember the exact name, but basically it was because he meant that I gotten some, what's it called? I've been sleeping next to a window that was open, and that I would get the wind from the open window. I don't know how to explain that in English, but yeah, that was his explanation, and that was why my face was completely numb. So yeah, it was like that for about 3 months. And a few years went by, again feeling the same way, like the immune system wouldn't work properly. I would get sick really often. I was always tired, you know, dizziness, the balance, all of that. And then I got my daughter. Then came the attack that would finally give me a diagnosis. So I've decided I'm going to read from my diary that where I told about the whole attack that happened. Just because my lack of memory, I just can't really remember that time. I don't know. Yeah, I have a lot of problems with memory. So, but I have written it down, and I'm going to try to translate it as well as I can in English, because I've written it in Norwegian. And yeah, this is really huge, sharing this with you guys, but I just feel like it's necessary for you to get what I was going through and what I was feeling back then. So yeah, this was in July of 2017. I have so much to tell you, but I don't know if I can. My son is doing great. He's in kindergarten and he's turning 5 years this month. He's an amazing boy and I love him so much. I never thought anyone would mean this much to me as he does. But then my daughter came along. She was born on the 1st of January in 2017. The pregnancy went okay. I was tired with a lot of pelvic pain, but I was fine. My daughter is just as amazing as her brother. She's easy to put to bed. She plays a lot on her own. She loves music. She's happy. She's cuddly. And she has a mind of her own. I feel so grateful to have them. I was very tired, as I'm sure a lot of other moms with little kids are. But I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the morning of the 4th of July in 2017. Me and my daughter woke up, and my boyfriend came up in bed, and we were just laying there cuddling, laughing, talking for a while. The two boys went up, and us girls were gonna come right behind them. As I get up with my daughter in my arms, I can feel that something is very wrong. Everything is spinning. My feet won't listen to me, and my head feels really weird. Somehow I get to the bathroom, and I manage to put my daughter on the changing table before I call my boyfriend. For a few seconds I'm gone, but when I wake up, I can't feel my left arm, and my 2 fingers on my right arm are also really funny. My feet are super heavy. I think it's called palpitations, like my heart goes really fast. And I feel a lot of anxiousness in my body. And a really heavy pressure over my eyes. My boyfriend drives my son to the kindergarten, and somehow I managed to put my daughter to bed. When my boyfriend comes back, he insists me to call the doctors. I call and they ask me to call 911. The ambulance gets there. They check me for anything serious like a heart attack or, yeah, something like that. But they give me a conclusion that I've like slept on my arm in a way that it has like fallen asleep. But still they want me to be checked of an intern doctor and to take some tests. They find that I have high metabolism and that it's normal after giving birth. This is on a Monday. On Friday, a good friend of mine comes home to me early in the morning. She's getting married and I'm going to do her makeup. I try to hide it as well as I can how bad I'm really feeling because I don't want to destroy her day. The left hand is really not functioning very well, but I managed to do it and it turns out really well. She's really happy with the makeup. I shouldn't have gone to the wedding, but I thought that I was squeamish. I don't know if that's the right word, but for not handling a small inflammation. And I told myself to get it together. So I went through with that, but I was walking as if I was really drunk, and it was very hard to walk in a way that no one would notice that I was that ill. So I only went through with the dinner and then I went back home. On Monday, I was scheduled to go to my actual doctor, and he immediately sends me to the hospital and the neurologist. And when I get there, they treat me as if it was an emergency. They take lots of tests, but they don't tell me anything. They just look at each other and they whisper. My boyfriend and my daughter is with me, and I'm really impatient. I just want to go home. They tell me that I'm in late, that I'm supposed to be there for a few days, and they give me a room at the neurological apartment. Yeah, and there's lots of tests. I don't really understand much of it, but I'm not really very worried. I just want to go home and I miss my son. Hospitals are depressing. I insist on going home. So they want me in for 3 days, but I get to go home at night. My daughter needs me because I'm still breastfeeding, and this is just such a waste of time. They want me to do an MRI of my head and a lumbar puncture. I agreed to do the MRI, but no way if anyone is gonna put a needle in my back. I went through 2 labors with no epidural because I wanted to avoid that. I'm so frustrated. They keep pushing, and I ask, what is the point? Oh, it's just to exclude inflammation, and and some stuff. They always answer me in this weird, calm way, but I can tell that they know something I don't know. I do the MRI, I go home, and the day after they call me, could you guys just come to the hospital just one more time? We need to talk. And I'm like, honestly, my son is going from grandparents to grandparents, and my daughter is with me driving 2 hours a day to get to the hospital. I'm exhausted. Could we just do this on the phone, please? No, sorry. So we get to the hospital, we wait and wait and wait. They take me into this room and they want my boyfriend to come as well. So I call him because he's down at the parking lot, extending the parking time. So we found some active lesions in your brain and a few scars, and we are 98% sure that you have MS. It's about 5 minutes until you have to go to this vision eye test. So we really want you to get this lumbar puncture so that we could get a better picture of your illness. There will be a nurse here soon to show you how to take your medicine. It's totally up to you if you want one shot, like syringe a day, or 3 times a week. The name of the medicine is Copaxone. A lot of information. So how do you feel about this? Silence. I nod. I say yes whenever it's suited. I thank them so much for all their help. They show me out the door, down the elevator. My daughter is crying. Through the corridor, I say hi to this lady. I go into the room. I get an eye patch. Please look at the pictures on the screen. Focus and breathe. I get these electricals placed on my head. On the screen there's these weird spirals, check patterns. They're vibrating. My tears starts rolling down my face. Do you need a moment? Says this lady. I nod. I start bawling. She hugs me hard. I hug her back. Are you scared? She says. I say, all I can think about is my kids. When I was diagnosed, there was a sense of relief because I didn't feel like I was crazy anymore. And I remember this colleague of mine, she has fibromyalgia, and one day she came to work with this little note kind of describing how it was to have that diagnosis, and a lot of the symptoms are very similar to MS. And this was way before I was diagnosed, and I just felt like I was imagining everything. And as she described it, and she told me this is how I feel, you know, I remember thinking, wow, she must be in so much pain. She must be in hell, because if I'm feeling the way I feel and I'm healthy, she must be like, it has to be like a nightmare for her. And I didn't realize that what she described was exactly what I was going through, in a lot of ways, at least. So if you have a lot of symptoms that you can't really explain, you have to take your symptoms seriously. I would always, think I was crazy and always find an explanation. It's probably because of stress, or it's just a lot of things going on right now, or maybe my allergies, or maybe it's just because of the shoes I'm wearing, or my scoliosis. It's so important to get diagnosed so that you can get the help that you need. Yeah. I have so much to say about this topic. So many things. But I think I'm going to stop there. If you have any questions, you are free to ask me down below. If you just need someone to talk to, you can just send me a message or a DM on Instagram. If you want me to do a video on a certain topic, I just write it down below. I might consider doing more videos on it, and I will not make this into an MS related channel is the word. But this is such a big part of my life now that and I have so much to say. But again, I want you to know that you're not alone. If you're sitting there newly diagnosed, really frustrated, and you might feel alone and hopeless and sad, just know that you're not alone. And I hope this was useful. And I'm sorry that this wasn't very uplifting, happy video, but I really felt the need to share, and maybe I would reach out to the people who need to know that they're not alone with this. So yeah, I'm sending you lots of love, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. So I forgot to tell you what MS really is. Multiple sclerosis is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system that disrupts the flow of information within the brain and between the brain and body.